This is immigration attorney Parviz Malakouti, and in this video I want to talk about a very powerful tool that we can use to get your arrest and criminal history from the FBI using our fingerprints. Okay, so I am talking about a criminal rap sheet, aka a criminal record history, aka an identity history summary from the FBI. Now, in my context as an immigration attorney, I utilize this along with other immigration attorneys to run the histories of immigrants before we take on their applications, especially if we're sending them abroad for consular processing, because we want to make sure that they're able to come back once they've been sent abroad. But the reality is that is not the only use of this type of record. Plenty of Americans who are applying for visas to other countries may need to run this record check and submit it with as part of their application. This can also be used for employment. This can also be used for applying for professional or business licenses. So it's a very useful tool. So the way you do it, basically, the way you request one of these is you go to the FBI site, and I'm going to link exactly, I'm going to put a link exactly to where you need to go. And you fill out an online form, okay? You open an account, you get an email from the FBI site, which has a case number. You print that email, you go back to the site, and then you pick a location to get your fingerprints, excuse me. That can be done at various live scan locations. It can also be done at one of 81 post offices all across the United States, in Los Angeles, Las Vegas, New York, Houston, Atlanta, all over the place. You print the email, you go to the post office, okay, and you basically submit the email with the case number, okay, and you're gonna be sat down in front of a live scan machine, and you're gonna do your left 4 fingerprints, your right 4 fingerprints, both thumbs, okay? And then you pay the fee. The post office charges $50. Different live scan locations charge different prices, and the FBI fee is $18. So if you do it with the post office, it's gonna be $18 plus $50, okay? So when you leave the post office, you're gonna get an email. If you do it at the post office, you're gonna get an email from the FBI site that's gonna say that your biometrics, your fingerprints were received, okay? And depending on whether you have a history or not, you're going to get a response back in a short period of time or maybe a little bit longer period of time, okay? So if you have no criminal or arrest history, you're gonna get a response back very quickly. And I'm gonna actually post up on the screen a sample of what one of these looks like, what one of these identity history summaries look like for somebody who doesn't have any criminal or arrest record, okay? If you have no record, it's gonna come back within a couple days. If you have a record, it could take a few weeks, okay? And once you have this document, okay, now you can review the arrests and the convictions and make sure that you gather and assemble all the relevant documentation for that, especially if you're applying for an immigration benefit, but also, as I mentioned, if you are applying for a license or a visa from another country, okay? Now, one other thing that I recommend as an immigration attorney is that you run a check not just with the FBI, but also with the relevant Department of Justice in the state that you live in, okay? So for example, California, where I practice in Los Angeles, California has the Cal DOJ, which has a separate process for submitting fingerprints to get records on arrest and convictions from California. So if you live in Texas, for example, if you live in another state, okay, you should do the same thing that I recommended for FBI in each one of those states that you've lived in if you had an arrest or conviction in that state. I'm not gonna cover the specifics in this video, but I'll probably do another video at least showing how to run Cal DOJ biometrics to get to get a criminal rap sheet, okay? So that's it for this video. I hope this was helpful. And if you have any comments or questions, general questions, post them in the comments below. If you want a full consultation, email me at info@malakoutilaw.com or click the link below to schedule on Calendly. It is a paid consultation and we can sit in private and talk about your case one-on-one. That's it. Hope everybody has a great day.